Oh my god! What? Wow! Episode 8, guys. Welcome to our Invincible review of episode 8, the finale, the season in its whole. Just got done watching this thing, and
Did that just
wow!
happen? Did that happen?
Wow! My God, this literally just skyrocketed from like a cool ass take on superheroes to one of the best superhero stories that has ever been adapted for animation. It is fucking crazy. I did say fucking. It is. I'm a minute in, so I can say whatever I want now. What I initially wanted to say, and it was padding for time, is here's how I wanted to start it. Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Holy shit! Holy. Okay, my friend. Holy. Fuck. That was crazy. I gotta say, it was shocking, compelling, Jesus, brutal, massive.
Brutal is an understatement.
Exactly. I know. The train scene? Am I right?
That was fucking epic.
That was just horrific. Like, that shit will give him
Epic.
nightmares. That's gonna give Mark nightmares for millions of years
he's
to come.
traumatized.
That's his father doing that too. That adds that extra layer, guys. This is a climax, that is amazing and something I don't see very often. And I'll have all of this in that kind of DC animation style that's clean and it looks, happy and stuff. It's PG. Oh, that's just great. But this is only scratching the surface of what this series can do, honestly. And what I heard is could be next. So, obviously, this is a continuation from last time. Last time is We Need to Talk, right? And this is called
They find that big ass creature.
yeah, where I really come from. But they do more in talk. In this, they definitely have just. Damn, masterfully done, guys. I'm speechless on that. So, blood and gore at maximum velocity here when basically Omni-Man tells Mark, what's up.
Master plan.
The master plan basically reveals everything to him, that his race is a race of conquerors, and he had to do all this stuff.
Only the strong survive.
And, Mark is, rightfully shocked. He looks at Immortal, who is, dead again, which I'm sure is going to be a reoccurring thing if the guy's name is Immortal, right? Looks back at his father and is just like, why? And he tries to explain it. But it's such a great performance by, J.K. Simmons here. It's so... like a matter of fact, like none of these things matter. You're going to be living thousands of years. These people will all be, nothing, and he's like, well, what about, mom, and then he refers to her as his pet. And that was it. And she's listening to this whole time. And
she's fuming.
yeah, I just love the way this is paced, the way this is depicted. Cecil being a fucking badass, just trying to throw everything he can. He knows none of it's going to do shit. He's just trying to buy Mark a little bit of time because in his mind, this is it. This is the final battle. And Mark just gets his ass. Like, this two titans, invincible titans, beating the shit out of each other. No. I should say one Titan beating the shit out of the other.
No match.
It's like David and Goliath if David had no
Nerf
slingshot.
guns.
No, he didn't have no, he was a baby. He was a 3-year-old, right? That's what it was like. And it was fucking amazing. World spanning, knocking him into different fucking, parts of the world, causing massive destruction. So fantastic
Killing
episode.
everyone
God
on this path.
Damn, I fucking loved it. What did you guys think?
This episode was the best. I want more of it now.
I know, and they saved it right for the last.
I really liked this one. I had a lot of emotion because Mark was like, "Who's controlling you, Dad? Like, what's going on?
That makes
Let me
sense,
help
right?
you."
We've seen
He's
that
like,
trope
"Hey,"
before.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, look, this That's what I do. All right, either join me or I'm gonna have to kill you.
Beat you to death.
Yeah,
Smash you into a rock.
Mark doesn't put up much of a fight. Like each of his attacks are easily deflected or straight up fucking absorbed by his father.
Omni-Man's got years of experience. This guy's what, a couple months?
Yeah, well, Mark couldn't even handle like 3 undead soldier cyborg robot things. It's like he's not going to be able to handle his father.
That hopelessness really adds to that scene and the gravity of the situation and what's happening.
Yeah, I think it was the strongest episode so far. It was kind of strange. That the episode kind of its climax happens, like they have this massive fight and they kind of resolve things, but then there's still 20 more minutes of them kind of wrapping everything up, setting everything up, and I didn't hate it because
what
sometimes
are you gonna do now?
Like this is one of those things where we get the climax of the episode way up front, and
I like that.
Some series struggle with that, and then and then I'm less interested. This was all pretty interesting stuff, setting up for the return of my man Johnny, Catman coming back. I want to see more of him, and I hear people in the comments are like, no, trust me, he's gonna be back. It's gonna be really cool.
Good.
So there was some really good stuff.
Yeah,
here.
do you remember that episode where Cecil was like, "There's only one person that can maybe go toe to toe with Omni-Man," and I was like, the cat. He says, "Mark." I'm like, "Oh, wait, no, no, the cat."
Cecil, you been watching the same show?
The cat beat the fuck out of Mark.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I would like to see the return of him. Yeah. They set up a lot of things at the end there.
We get him, and then we get
the
Martians.
The Martians?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
the
right.
sludge,
They still got to deal with that shit that's been going on over on Mars.
The lava men.
Yeah, the seismic dude. We see his fate. We obviously the Titan is now gang lord kind of thing. Where that's gonna go? So all these little hints at where season 2 might lead us.
Looking forward to it too.
And then of course the hugest thing, which is dealing with Omni-Man, dealing with the Viltrumites. Alan the alien comes back and he's like, "Hey man, I fucked up. I forgot to tell you, and now I figured everything out. There's one of them here, and I'm a little late." And he's like, "Hey, we're building an army, so there's that plot line that's gonna be fucking crazy, like a fucking Viltrumite. If one of them is doing all this shit, like, could you imagine more? No, you're fucked." And there was a great Easter egg actually. Alan the alien's race, did you see him? It was in there getting killed. It's one of the first ones where they had a bunch of guns and there's like an alien. He had like a cigar, but if you look closer, that cigar is actually like a little grub, a little alien grub. So it's just the small details in the show. And, the climax actually tugged on my heartstring a little bit. Didn't it surprise? So surprising because it's so fucking brutal. And you're like, you fucking hate Omni-Man. It's like, what a piece of shit. Like, the ultimate order of piece of shit. But then, how does this thing end, right? Well, he's got him fucking dead to rights. He's just beating the shit out of him. He's like telling him, submit, like, stop this bullshit. And, Mark is just so good. He's like, I forget what he says. He's like, I don't fucking care about the Viltrumites, and I don't give a shit if I live 1,000 years. You know what I mean? You can't do this shit. And I love his voice actor. I love his performance, and that goodness that you could feel behind. A lot of series have that paragon of goodness, but Mark really fits that, and not in an annoying way, in a kind of a hopeful way. So
yeah, my favorite part was whenever he's beating his ass. He's like, "Oh, you know what? You're not gonna join me. I go wait another 17 years. I'll make a new one."
Oh, that was
then he
brutal.
gets the flashbacks. He's like, "Oh, they got to you." He's like, all right, oh, fuck. He feels so bad. He's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that's the conclusion. Joey, that's So Omni-Man flies away, tears in his eyes. And that's a great throwback to the original comic, a very iconic scene of him like flying and he's got tears. Because, he remembers, he beats his son to death nearly, an inch from death, and his teeth are all knocked out. And that, again, small details in an animated series. His son's fucked up face where he's missing all his teeth reminds him of the time he's a little kid when he's missing his front teeth, and he was at a ball game and, he's like, what is this shit? This is fucking stupid. I ain't watching this. It was a waste of time. And, of course, his wife's like, well, no, keep watching. Watch. Look at your son, and he sees that, the eyes in his son light up when when he hits that home run kind of thing.
Got them human feelings now.
And he gets a little taste, and so that reminds him of how proud he was of his son, and a little bit of remorse is setting in, which is crazy, for a Viltrumite, because even now in the Alien is like, this is really weird. Like, where'd he go? That doesn't ever happen. So it looks like Mark and maybe his wife actually did get to Omni-Man. We have no idea where he went, how this thing is going to resolve. Obviously, if you've read the comics,
you already
you already know. And I'm doing after this. Like, I went to Amazon and eBay, and I was like, I gotta get me, these things. But at the same time, I don't want to ruin it for myself. It's a struggle internally not to read ahead and to have it spoiled. But I think even if you were to do that, there are small changes here and there that this series does even better.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There are gonna be some changes, and were you able to find some?
Yeah,
it's probably popular now.
Sure, they expand on certain characters and they change things up and arguably do it sometimes better than the comics, while also really paying homage to and staying true to the comics. So, wow, just fantastic. So let's we don't have to drag this one out. Let's get to final verdicts, and then we can talk a little bit more about the battle and the implications.
We're gonna do for this episode or
for this
overall?
episode. Yeah, let's do this episode first.
This episode is gonna be a 10 for
yeah.
me. It had everything I wanted. Great story, great fight scene. The tension was there. Everyone's dying left and right and tugging on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
This one felt like a complete package for me.
Yep.
10.
What about you, Alex?
I'm struggling between a 9 and a 10. I loved the first half hour. I think the first half hour of this episode was excellent. And I think the last half hour of the episode, the last 15 minutes was pretty good too, but I don't, they're setting up and they're teasing for other things. And so if there's a huge portion of the episode that's just kind of set up and teasing, does it deserve the 10 all the way through?
10.
What?
It's got to be a 10, man. There's no fucking. Come on.
Come on. Let's do
Now,
it.
10 is not perfect, obviously.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
I mean,
thing.
This is
I'm
great.
aware
I'm
it's not perfect, but
I'm going to watch this again.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah,
definitely.
but it's just like if I watch it again, would you watch the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I want to see.
Maybe
I want to
I'll
see
miss
some
something
details
else.
in
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
maybe I'll miss
of what
something
they're
else.
setting up in future seasons. The last 15 minutes ain't bad at all.
No, it's not bad. But,
Excellent.
But would you
But
rate?
what came before was even excellenter. So that's why it doesn't take away anything. That's just me. Why am I talking? Shut up.
Yeah, I don't think that the last part of the episode, the issue is like if I'm watching this whole thing, it doesn't finish at its maximum strength because we had that climax in the front. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Nope.
No, can't do that here. Can't do it. No, it's either a 9 or a 10.
All right, we're rounding
I'm going
up.
to up his up to a 10.
All right,
Executive decision, he's going to a fucking 10. Anyways, yeah, obviously you know my fucking thing. It's 10.
It's a
okay?
holy...
It's a holy
fuck.
10. Holy fuck. Fuck. Oh, man. Just so many great small details embedded in this thing. When he punched him, and Omni-Man's like, oh, please. So good.
Yeah.
Just knocks him
I would have
across
been
the
so
fucking-
upset if Mark had any chance in this fight. And I was thinking to myself,
That's
when they
why-
were setting up this fight, I was like, I'm going to be fucking pissed if Mark even lands a punch that matters. And he didn't. And I think that's they really understood.
Yeah.
And
He's
like this is,
holy shit,
and it's
he's
like
our
good
last-
storytelling at that point. So it's like I really liked how they set everything up because Mark's not very good.
Yeah,
like
I
some,
He's still training.
some college kid in a sewer built 3 robots
Yeah.
that kicked his ass. There's no way he beats up Omni-Man yet.
And
I
there's
like
a
that.
moment where Mark has fucking anger, and you would think, okay, Mark, we'll power up a little bit. You're talking about his mom, his dad. You're pushing him in a corner, but it does jack shit.
It doesn't do anything. Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. Like Omni-Man gets fucking pissed. At one point in the animation, you see his face. He goes
His
into a fucking
eyes, like,
frenzy.
bloodshot, and he's like, all right, he's ready
Because
to
I like
kill
that touch. That wasn't in the
more.
comics. That was a small change. His eyes are bloodshot because Immortal tried to gouge his eyes out.
His eyes are invulnerable.
Just made it way more.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Poor
Made his
Immortal.
face a lot more menacing.
Right.
But
I'm back.
yeah,
I'm back.
and then the moment, they handled it perfectly because this is one of those big moments from the comics that you can easily fuck up. The battle was lengthy, it was brutal, it was interesting. It all tied into what Omni-Man was trying to convey to his son, and he just didn't give a fuck about these people.
Mark as well too,
Yeah.
trying to.
Those jet fighters too,
hopeless,
and then
trying
they
to help.
fucking destroy the jet fighter, and he saves, and Mark is continuing to be Mark, does his best to save the guy. He's like, okay, you're all right, and then his father comes right down
Why
behind
do
him.
you fucking care?
He's like, oh shit.
Man, just blew up his face.
He squeezed.
And
Crush your head.
Yeah, it's just fucking awesome, and just great. So I hope that this. I mean, I was like, how many seasons? Because the greatest news here is that while this episode came out, I checked Twitter. And they said, we are renewed. We are renewed for season 2. Not only season 2, but season 3. I'm like, fuck yes. And I know the showrunner wants 100 seasons. He was just excited and saying that. But I think it can go, from the story and what's left and what I've seen people who have read the comics are saying, they think it can go anywhere from 5 to 7 seasons. I think most people
That's
are
what I
sticking
was
around
okay
6.
with, as long as you have the story or you already have it written. I don't want it to get crazy. Like what's it?
Oh, it's gonna get fucking crazy.
Like
because
I'm talking
you're
about like
actually-
Walking Dead, like season 20. Is like I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care
yeah.
Yeah,
at
the
this
main
point.
Well, no,
storyline
there's a
is
good
this-
there's a ending point already. We already have an ending point.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's what I'm
how
saying.
they're
But
Like,
how much do they meander between here and there? Because I don't necessarily like some of the. I think when this is running and the main storyline is playing out, the show is incredible.
Yeah.
How did you like that end quote? He's like, "What are you gonna do? Finish high school?"
Yeah, well.
That's a great one. There was another good story, a good quote, when he's like beating his son up and like, how does he get him stopped? He's like, well, none of this matters, like what are you gonna do? What's left? There's nothing left for you here. And he's like, you, Dad, like you, and it got to him, got to his heart, his fucking callous heart.
Can Omni-Man change?
Yeah, and I hope he can. Like, I don't know anything about Omni-Man. I don't know Omni-Man's faith or a fate, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see. But I think Steven Yeun, speaking of Walking Dead, I think he does great as the voice
Mark.
actor.
Yeah.
Just the little nuances that he puts in his performance.
This is an expensive
Fantastic.
set of voice actors.
Oh,
so
it
when they're talking
is.
about 7+
Yeah.
seasons and keeping all of them on that kind of schedule.
I don't know if those guys are pretty expensive.
Every time I highlight like who's like, there's a lot of like really well. I know the names of all these people that are in there, so it's like if they want to keep working. Like if you can keep J.K. Simmons forever, do it because he's doing.
Yeah,
such a
J.K. Simmons is the big one.
Yeah,
definitely.
you have to keep him. You have to keep Steven.
Yeah,
they're
for
all
sure.
doing great jobs. Mark Hamill, of course. So
Yeah. Yep. And just earnest, charming, kind. A good foil for
gotta get
Omni-Man
keep Rex.
cynicism. So
Keep Rex.
it's just fantastic. So, anyways, let's go ahead and see what would you guys would rate for the actual entire season. So season 1. So episode 8 gave a 10 out of 10 too.
Yes.
The season 1, I am between a 10 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10. The only thing that is in there that makes me falter is the girlfriend side plot.
Yeah.
The whole Amber thing. Now, I understand that comic book fans are going to say, actually, the Amber thing is done a little better in the animation. I'm like, well, then it was done shit in the comics.
I had to pause an episode when she is telling him, "I've known for weeks."
Yeah, that
you
was
were-"
it.
And
That was
and
it.
then I
And I
went-
was
and I
like,
went
fuck
back-
you, bitch.
I had to go back and watch the previous episode and watch this whole thing and say, none of this makes sense. This is
Yeah.
fucking garbage.
Where are you? You just ran away. I was like,
So wait, you knew that I was a fucking hero. You
why
knew that I
you-
was saving everybody's goddamn life.
You knew I just saved your
and
ass
you
in college.
put me through this shit because I didn't show up to a fucking soup kitchen?
It's because you don't care about me. It's over.
I know.
Fuck you.
Fuck,
I
will
was saving people.
Fuck Amber. I don't want him to be with Amber. I want him to be with Eve.
When
I'm
she kissed
done.
him at the end, I was like, fuck.
No, I was like, get
Yeah.
the
I was
fuck
mad.
out
I
of
was
here.
mad when
I
they
was
got back
like, oh,
together. It's
now-
like, this is the worst part of
So
the whole
I don't
episode.
know exactly.
I was
I don't know
upset.
if that was the intention of the showrunners. Maybe in the future where it goes, I have no idea. But if your intention was to make me hate her, then you're
Like,
mission
she was fine
accomplished.
at the beginning, but now it's like
Now
that was
I don't
dumb.
want her
I
around.
don't like it, but-
Just fucking yeah. So that would be the only thing. I like all of his his friends and the side plots there, and his friend with the college episode that you were saying you may not have liked a lot.
No.
I liked it, and so that was just the build up to what we know is gonna fucking happen, and then it happens, and it even happens in one of the worst tropiest ways. Overboard. Later on, we learned she knew about for 3 weeks. Like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. You can meme the shit out of that. In fact, there was a YouTuber that did. It was really good.
Oh, really?
I'll leave the link down below. I forget his name, but it's hilarious. Anyways,
I need to check that
so
out,
I even with that though, because this series, I don't know. I'm sure it gets even better from here. So it's like I want to give it a 9 so that I can give the next one a 10.
I'm at a
But no,
9.
I'm just gonna give it a fucking 10 because I can't rate something proactively like that. Where yes, something bothers me in the series, but overall, the levels that it does on these other things rise higher than some of the problems I have with it. I think season 1 of Invincible is tight. It's cohesive. It's
Still
amazing
great.
animation, amazing performances, nuanced in so many different ways. 10 out of 10, with the caveat that they're the Amber thing, man. So, what do you guys think?
Me, I'm gonna give it a 9. The
Yeah.
Amber thing, some of the high school stuff, and there's some of the slow little plots in the episode, but overall, it's still a great watch. I love this. 9 is great for me.
Yeah, I think this is a great watch. I think the natural comparison is the other hyper violent, adaptation that Amazon owes in The Boys, and
The
I just
Boys.
don't think that there are times. I would say like The Boys is constant like 9 out of 10 quality, and so if we're going to compare those two because they're on the same thing, it's some of the same producers. I think this one's an 8 out of 10. It's still a great watch. I don't think that the side plots, side characters, some of the character development they're trying to push on us is anywhere near as good as stuff that we see elsewhere. So there are times when I'm watching the side things that are going on where we're not talking about any of the main characters, and we're talking about Amber. We're talking about the guy's boyfriend up in school. That it's not as special as some of the other things that it's doing. So it's got some really amazing moments, and it's got some moments that are only pretty good. And it's still a really good thing right now with as amazing TV is with Disney Plus and on Amazon to be an 8 out of 10. But yeah, I think
I didn't expect this either, and I'm loving Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Kind of give me All-Star Superman at the end. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's killing people. It's like, psych. It's like, Omni-Man's really fucking doing it. I was like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
this is kind of what I wanted.
Yeah.
really murdering
Yeah, and that's
people.
probably why I rate it so high. Like, the whole Superman angle and this universe getting to actually let loose and being my first experience with Invincible. I've already gone out and researched getting the comics. I probably will buy
course.
them, but did not open them. And then every day, struggle
Just
with
having
between
them, you're gonna be so tempted.
clothes. I know, right? But I need them. I want to support the series. And now that they have been announced for season 2 and 3, that's fucking fantastic and definitely deserved it. I'm so excited right now. Probably even gives a little bit of hope to Seth Rogen for his live action adaptation. But honestly, like I said, I still don't think a live action adaptation could work on this. I think it works perfectly fine in
it's
animated
way
form.
better because you have more liberties and
Exactly.
You can't do
blood and
any of what
everything.
happened.
The train scene alone would be.
Well, like episode 7 was also excellent, right? And so, like episode 7, you could never do anything like that live action.
You cannot do this story in a single film. You just can't. It would be so fucking rushed. And then it would end on a cliffhanger. So give up unless you do
Unless
like a
you do,
live
like,
action
4 hours
series
like
like The
the
Boys
Snyder
or
Cut.
something. Right. Yeah. 4 hours. Maybe in 4 hours, sure. But
Yeah, I don't know.
just great. And did you notice that the I don't know, I find it kind of annoying every time they're like, and we'll have to get his help or we'll have to get and then they do the
Oh,
title
yeah.
card every time they try to say his name Invincible because nobody ever says
It is
Invincible.
forbidden.
It is forbidden.
It's forbidden.
It's a little annoying, but I did notice over time that it getting bloodier and bloodier
Yeah.
and bloodier, and by the end, so by season 2, the end card is just going to be red and black.
And
What does
teeth.
that
There's gonna be
say?
teeth stuck into it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. If you want to support our show and more of these types of reviews for these side shows, grab some merch. We got some great new shirts. Got a lot of mittens hair on me. He was in the video earlier, but the whole thing crashed, and so we lost
Well, we
our
have the
original.
video, but not the audio.
We we lost our original. Oh, okay. Well, I can show a little.
See, there you
yeah,
go.
cool. But anyways, grab a shirt from down below, and yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. And I guess all that's left to say is I can't wait for more.
Well, what?
Can't say. It is forbidden.
Invincible.